welcome back to my channel. So today I just thought I'd do a little bit of a jumping progress and update video. So this first clip that you're seeing now is from our first show jumping competition of the year, which was in February. To be honest, I don't know why we even entered this, because in hindsight, when I look back, I actually hadn't jumped him since the end of October. So he'd had about 4 months off jumping. But as you can see so far, he'd actually been a really good boy. I was being a big brave girl and jumping from canter wherever I could. But it was kind of from this point that I just lost the ability to steer him. And this is kind of what happens in terms of he gets strong and then I can't steer. And I start missing fences and things. So there I was supposed to be going to that rainbow fence on the right. So obviously I had to do a big circle because I just couldn't get him back to me. But in this show jumping round, I actually got eliminated because I think I missed a few fences. So that one, I just couldn't steer him. I think the other two were actually my fault. I think because I'd lost control of him here, I just lost my confidence a little bit, and then I just wouldn't let him approach the next fence. So for example, this one, a related distance, as you can see, he's come back to me. He's been a really good boy, but for this second part, I just completely avoided it. I don't even know why, I just get in my head sometimes about it. But yeah, so missed that one, and yeah, the round didn't get much better. Although I wasn't majorly disappointed overall because, you know, like I said, when I look back, I hadn't actually show jumped him since October, so he'd had quite a few months off jumping, and that was no jumping at home either. I think I jumped once at home in the meantime. But this kind of sparked me to try and think, right, I really need to get back jumping more regularly. I'd worked so hard last year to get my confidence up and start building a partnership together. So I think that just showed me I needed to get back in the game, really. So it was after this that I decided I would set myself a goal of trying to jump once a week, and that could be arena hires, just popping a few at home, anything, just to try and get my confidence up and give us a bit of exposure. So as you can see, a little while later, we are now having a lesson with Caroline. Cruz is being a good boy, as eager as ever, but this was really just to try and get my confidence back and get me back in the game. So the main takeaways from this lesson were: 1, I needed to use the corners to try and slow him down. 2, I really needed to keep my hands low so I could steer and try and keep a contact with him a little bit more. So they were takeaways from this. It was actually a really positive session. I was really happy by the end of it. And as you can see, we're doing a few different exercises, and I think by the end of the lesson we'd strung together about 6 or 7 fences, including a related distance. And it was at this point really that I realised that my fear's kind of gone from doubles to related distances, and this is where I kind of cracked it, to be honest, because even if I approach in trot, which with a lot of my jumping I do, just to try and keep him calm, and it sort of means the sting of him after it isn't quite as dramatic as it would be, then I just need to sit tight and hold, and you know, the related distance will come, he'll stay straight and he'll still jump it. So that were the key takeaways from there. Then as you can see, this is a different day now. So this is a week later, I think. We'd actually gone to an arena hire. I brought Ben along with me for moral support and obviously to do the jumps and things. And the aim of this arena hire was just to try and put things into practice that I've done with Caroline in my lesson, but doing it independently, because often I find that in lessons things go really well and I'm feeling quite confident, but then when I next go to show jump or an arena hire by myself, I completely lose all confidence because I haven't got someone there to support me and tell me what to do. So again, we just worked on stringing together a few fences, I did as best. So here you can see I'm doing a related distance, which has become one of my fears. And it's because if he takes a flyer, he really zooms after. And there, although he didn't necessarily take a flyer, I think the striding was okay, he just jumped it really long. I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, it just takes me a little while to get him back to me, but I was proud that I'd done it nonetheless. So after those sessions I was feeling quite good, so it was time for another competition. So when we walked the course, it was quite twisty-turny, which from my lesson with Caroline I thought might be helpful in terms of me slowing him down. Although it did have my fear, a whole 3 related distances. But my plan was just to trot in, hopefully just stick within, try and remain in a steady canter and stay straight, and he'd pop the second, which as you can see for this first related distance he actually did really nicely. Actually at this second related distance fence where on the second stride he just took a bit of a flyer, bless him, but I held on. I was proud that I stuck with it, and I told him what a good boy he was and gave him big pats before carrying on, because I was happy that he'd gone at least, despite me losing my balance and losing my reins. Between that competition and this one that I'm showing now, which is at a new venue that we've never been to today. Cruz warmed up really well. He was really chill. He normally is, to be honest. It's normally the more he jumps, the more excited he gets. And this was actually show cross, so it's like show jumping and rustic fences. But as you can see here, I just felt like he was running away from me and I didn't have any control. There I've missed my fence 3 because I'd overshot it and he was just running off. So that hadn't worked out well. So again, this round kind of just made me feel like we were back to square one again. This is the last footage I have to share in this video today, but since this round I have had a lesson just to try and establish some breaks really, and you know, get control of him again. And I will be doing some more work with my flat work to try and make sure I can, you know, control and steer him a little bit. Try and lock the enthusiasm ever so slightly. That lesson went well. And then the day after that lesson I did also go cross-country schooling. Again, just the same thing really, not worried about the size of the fences. I only jumped some really tiny logs, but it was just about, you know, getting one to another, and keeping things on track and getting hold of him again, which I managed to put some of those things from the lesson into practice in that scenario, so that was really helpful. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying these jump in progress videos and update videos, please let me know in the comments so I make sure to do some more. And if not, please also let me know so I'll stop doing them. But hopefully see you for the next one. Bye!
to go next?
Yeah.
Excellent.